Welcome to the My Dental Agency podcast. This is Jackie. Friendly Family Dentistry came to us a couple years ago with a story that most practices can relate to. On today's episode, I'm going to share with you how their online presence was hindering their growth, how negative reviews that were fake were negatively impacting their practice, how other practices in their area with worse reputations were showing up online more often than them, and how they wanted to generate more new patients for a new associate that they had while the existing doctor wanted to focus on generating larger cases. I'm sure one or all of these things you can relate to. So after we found out what the client was struggling with and what their goals were, we dove headfirst to find out what was truly going on behind the scenes with their practice marketing. And here's what we found. They were not firing on all cylinders as it relates to their marketing. They did not have a proactive review strategy. They were not taking a custom approach to their marketing. They didn't have any specific campaigns set up to drive quality patients into the practice. And they were using multiple different vendors with various marketing activities. We knew we had to fix all of this. We knew we needed to create a custom marketing plan to differentiate them from all the other practices in their area. They needed a more cohesive marketing strategy so all their campaigns work together. And they needed to think more holistically to turn their online presence and reputation around and drive good quality patients into the practice. So let's talk about where they started and where they ended up. This was the practice website prior to working with us. As you could see, they do have some custom photos here in the hero area, but you could see that this is very outdated. They weren't using a lot of other custom imagery throughout the homepage or the rest of the website. It's just plain. It doesn't speak to what makes them unique. It's very typical of what you would think you would find online for a practice. There was a ton of duplicate copy on the website, meaning the words and sentences on their website where, that were used on multiple other practices' websites. There's some direction telling patients what to do, like request an appointment, but there wasn't a ton of it. It wasn't very prominent. It was hard to find, and it's not, to what we would think that, makes it very clear to the patient of what to do next. And these are just to name a few items, on the website of what we found and where we wanted to go with it. They were also generating very little patients for their new associate, let alone good quality patients for the existing doctor. They didn't have a review strategy in place, and obviously that showed. They had 18 reviews on Google when we started with them, 22 reviews on Facebook with a score of 4.6. Clearly, I just mentioned that they had some negative reviews that were fake. Their online business listings, such as Google, Bing, Yellow Pages, none of the online listings were consistent with the same name, phone number, and address. And they were not connecting with their existing patients outside the practice. So one of the first things we did was redevelop the website to help them stand out in their marketplace and attract new quality patients. So you could see here, we added some video, some custom images. We used their video to tell their story and to help them articulate to new patient what makes them unique. We have very clear calls to action throughout the website, meaning we're telling people what to do, request an appointment in multiple areas. All of the content now is unique to them, meaning all of their subpages that I just discussed, they're not duplicate, they're unique to this practice. And we really talk about what matters to the patient, giving them a reason to pick up the phone and call or to submit a form to request an appointment. We highlight their positive reviews. In as little as 4 months, when we first started with them, they went from 18 Google reviews to 98. went from 22 reviews on Facebook to 69, increasing their star rating from a 4.6 to a 4.9. Now they're at a 5 star on both platforms, but this was when we first started with them in only 4 months. We also started with only 151 followers on Facebook, and as little as 4 months, again, they had 547 people following them on Facebook. Also, when we first started with them, in the first 4 months, we generated 30 implant leads. Again, this was just in the beginning. So 30 good quality implant leads for their existing doctor and 31 new patient leads for their associate. Again, this isn't the lifetime of the campaign. This is just on the onset. And these are just a few of our results. But what's really neat here is that there are so many intangibles working for this practice. Because we're generating all these great reviews, more new patients are finding them organically. And the ones that we are driving from our ad campaigns are more confident in choosing them as their next dentist. Because we're more active on Facebook, we often see patients checking in and sharing their experiences, which in turn is getting in front of their friends and family. Here's an example of this. So we had a patient check in and talk about her visit and how fantastic this dentist is. And you can see here that because of this, because of her checking in and sharing with her friends and family, people are commenting that they're considering driving down to get that level of treatment. There's a few people that now are more interested in seeing this practice just because we are more active on Facebook and because we encourage our patients to talk on Facebook with us more often. We're now getting in front of this patient's friends and family. And all of this is happening is because we're marketing more comprehensively, and we're seeing these type of results because we are marketing more comprehensively and holistically. We didn't just focus on one marketing activity for this practice, rather multiple different marketing activities. We're just showing a few examples here, but we're emailing existing patients, we're connecting with them on Facebook, we're blogging now. We have a good strategy online to drive good quality patients alongside patients for their associate. And each one of these activities is just a part of the bigger puzzle. And again, I'm just naming a few of these activities that we are, executing for this practice. So many practices we speak with are in similar position. We can't put all of our marketing focus and dollars into one activity. We have to think more holistically, because you're going to see small results from each of these facets of marketing. We have to make sure that we're firing on all cylinders. Have to make sure that all of these things that you're seeing on the screen now are connected and have the same goals and have the same strategy in place. And because we are doing this, this is why this practice is seeing these type of results. That concludes today's episode of My Dental Agency's podcast. I hope this client's story resonated with you and maybe brought to light some things you could change in your practice marketing. I would love to hear what some of your marketing concerns and goals are. Send us an email, podcast@mydentalagency.com, and let us know. Thanks.